Hello everybody, Lucas here, and welcome to another episode of Dylan's Disney Movie Reviews. Let's talk about Pixar back in 2015. During that year, Pixar released Inside Out, which was not only the third Pixar movie directed by Pete Docter, with the first two being Monsters Incorporated and Up, but it was also Pixar's comeback as the king of animation after releasing some films that weren't as great as their past films, like Cars 2, Brave, and Monsters University. Later in that same year, Pixar would release another film, making 2015 the first time that Pixar ever released two films a year, and it happens to be what I'm reviewing this week. Released on November 25th, 2015, the movie is The Good Dinosaur. The movie opens 65 million years in the past, where a meteor is knocked out of the asteroid belt and it's hurtling towards Earth. Millions of years later, in the present and alternate history, two Apatosaurus farmers named Henry and Ida, voiced by Jeffrey Wright and Frances McDormand respectively, who are also a married couple, are doing chores around their farm. One day, Henry and Ida have three baby Apontosauruses. The first one is Libby, voiced by Mally Padilla. The next one is Buck, voiced by Ryan Teeple. And the last one is Arlo, voiced by Jack McGraw, who, despite hatching out of a big egg, is very small and very nervous.
Come on out.
Look at you.
Buck! That's Clawtooth Mountain, and this is our farm.
And we're all gonna take care of it together.
A few years later, while the family's doing chores, Arlo's in charge of feeding the birds in the coop, which he's afraid of doing.
Who is that? Oh, hey, Eustace. Oh, you stuck little guy. Let me get this for you. You're free. Hello, move. Go find your papa and your.
Whoa! The river's not something to mess around with there, Arlo. Be careful.
After that, Henry and Ida show Libby, Buck, and Arlo the corn silo, which Henry and Ida put their mud print marks on.
Now, hold on. It's not that easy. You've got to earn your mark by doing something big. For something bigger than yourself. Someday you'll all make your mark. And I can't wait to see it.
Later, Buck, now voiced by Marcus Scribner, clears a field and earns his mark. Then Libby plows the field and earns her mark. As for Arlo, now voiced by Raymond Ochoa, he's having a difficult time doing his chores because of his fears. One day, he enters the coop to feed the birds and finds Buck injured.
Buck, what happened?
I came to help you with your chores. And then they attacked.
You're gonna be okay.
Tell Mama I love her. I see a light.
I'll go get help.
However, Buck's just teasing Arlo.
You should see your face. Oh.
I should have known. Always gotta mess me up.
Me? You mess up your chores and everyone else's. You're such a coward.
Buck!
I ain't a coward. I'm gonna make my mark. Just like you, and Libby, and everyone.
You will, darling. You just need a little more time.
Forget it. I didn't even want that dumb mark anyway.
Upset that he hasn't earned his mark yet, Arlo walks off. That night, Henry has Arlo walk into a field which is filled with fireflies.
Calm down. Breathe. Sometimes you gotta get through your fear to see the beauty on the other side.
The next day, Henry puts Arlo in charge of guarding the corn silo since a critter's been breaking into it and eating the corn, so Arlo and Henry set up a trap for the critter and bait it.
Then, along comes a critter. And this is how you're gonna finish the job. When that critter's taken care of, you'll put your mark on the silo, right next to mine.
I'll take care of the critter, Papa. It won't stand a chance.
Later, while guarding the silo, Arlo hears the trap going off and sees that the critter's a little cave boy who acts like an animal, voiced by Jack Bright.
You're dead, critter.
But Arlo can't bring himself to kill the boy, so he just lets him go.
Okay, you're free. What are you doing? Just leave. Flee. Stay back. Go!
Henry then shows up and he's disappointed that Arlo let the boy go, so he has Arlo go with him to track the boy down.
But Papa, what if we get lost?
As long as you can find the river, you can find your way home. What do you see?
Tracks?
And they're washing out. You gotta move. We're losing it.
While trying to keep up with Henry, Arlo trips and injures himself.
Papa, wait.
Arlo, what did I say about keeping... It's okay. It's okay, Arlo. I'm sorry. I just wanted you to get through your fear. I know you have it in you.
But I'm not like you.
You're me and more.
As the storm's getting worse, Arlo and Henry start heading home. They then see a flash flood coming, and Henry manages to save Arlo.
Papa!
Now without Henry, Arlo's having to do a little more. He then walks over to the silo and finds the boy inside it.
You've got some nerve coming here. It's all your fault! My papa would still be alive if it weren't for you!
Arlo and the boy fall into the river, and Arlo's swept away from home. He then becomes unconscious. Later, when he comes to, he finds himself in the wilderness far from home.
Mama?
He then climbs up a mountain, but he can't find Clawtooth Mountain. He then remembers Henry telling him that as long as he can find the river, he can find his way home, so he follows the river. Arlo soon becomes hungry and tries to get some berries down from a tree. His leg gets stuck between two rocks and he can't get freed. When he wakes up the next morning, he sees that the boy dug his leg free. He then continues his journey home, but it starts raining, so he builds himself a little shelter. A little later, Arlo hears something coming, and it's the boy who shows up with a lizard.
You again. Get out of here.
A little later again, the boy shows up with a big bug. The boy then shows up with some berries.
I told you to stay away from me. Oh. 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 I am still gonna squeeze the life out of you. Before I do, can you find me some more? Here, more of these. You know, nom nom. Oh, no, stop! What are you doing? Hey, wait!
Arlo then follows the boy to a cliff, and they find a tree filled with berries, but then a snake appears and the boy attacks it. After that, Arlo meets a Styracosaurus pet collector named Forrest Woodbush, voiced by the movie's director Peter Sohn, who wants the boy.
Why?
'Cause it's terrifying out here. He can protect me, like my friends. This is Fury. He protects me from the creatures that crawl in the night. This is Destructor. She protects me from mosquitoes. This is Dream Crusher. He protects me from having unrealistic goals. And this is Debbie. Yes, we need it.
He and Arlo try to think of a name for the boy. The only name he answers to is Spot, so that's what Arlo names him.
He is named. You clearly are connected. Good for you. On your path to Clawtooth Mountain, that creature will keep you safe. Don't ever lose him.
Arlo and Spot then continue their journey back to Clawtooth Mountain, and they start working together. Later that night, Arlo and Spot find a place to rest for the night, and Arlo tells Spot that he misses his family. Spot doesn't understand what a family is at first, so Arlo shows him.
That's me. There's Libby. And Buck. And Mama. And Papa. Family. You don't understand. That's okay.
Spot then tells Arlo about his family the same way, and that he's an orphan since his parents are dead.
miss him.
The next morning, Arlo and Spot continue their journey. A storm strikes, and Arlo runs in fear. Later, Spot finds Arlo, and Arlo can't find the river.
Where's the river? I've lost the river. I'm never getting home. I'm never getting home.
Arlo then sees a group of pterodactyls and calls to them for help.
Say, friend, are you wounded?
No, I'm not hurt.
Oh, good. Thank goodness for that. Cold front, downpour, keep looking for wounded folk.
Wait, I need to get home. Clawtooth Mountain.
Clawtooth. Oh, you mean the mountain range with the 3 points?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've been there. But you know, kid, no, you're not even close. Still, I know the way.
My name's Arlo.
I'm sorry. I used to have a name like that once. That was before I started following the storm.
The leader of the pterodactyls, voiced by Steve Zahn, tells Arlo a bit about himself.
The storm swept me out. I was afraid for my life, but the storm gave me a revelation, and I wasn't scared anymore.
You mean a revelation?
No, a relevation. Okay? I was at a real low point, and the storm swept me up to a real high point and then left me at a higher elevation.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. That's when the storm gave me my new name because, what do we say?
The storm provides.
The storm provides. You can call me Thunderclap.
Thunderclap. Can you help me get home?
Yeah, well, maybe. Oh, but first, we just need to check the area. There's plenty of folks in a very bad way after a storm like this, don't you know?
One of the other pterodactyls finds a critter trapped, and Thunderclap asks Arlo for his help.
Whoa! Yeah! That's great!
It's a critter.
A freed critter, thanks to you. You know, I just want to take a moment and thank the storm for this meal. You think you can mess with me? I've seen the eye of the storm, and I forgot what fear is. I'm not afraid of anything.
No, I didn't say.
Thunderclap and the others then try to catch Spot. He and Arlo run away, see something that looks like an Apatosaurus in the distance, and calls to it for help. But it's actually two T-Rexes who send the pterodactyls away. Arlo meets the T-Rexes named Nash and Ramsey, voiced by A.J. Buckley and Anna Paquin, respectively, as well as their dad Butch, voiced by Sam Elliott, and Arlo asks them if they know where the river is.
What river? There's tons of rivers around these parts.
By Clawtooth Mountain. It has 3 points.
Don't know that one. We're heading south to a watering hole. Come with us. Someone there might help you.
We ain't got time for babysitting. We got longhorns to round up.
My genius brother lost our whole herd in one day.
I did not lose them, Ramsey. How many times I gotta tell you this? They just wandered off.
The T-Rexes start to leave, but then Arlo says that Spot could sniff out the longhorns.
He can find your longhorns.
Hey!
Come on, Spot. Sniff it out, boy. Good boy, Spot.
Arlo and the T-Rexes follow Spot, and soon enough they find some tracks made by the Longhorns and also realize that rustlers are after them.
Rustlers?
We gotta move.
Yeah.
After following the tracks, they find the Longhorns in a field and Butch gives Arlo a job.
I'm not really good at jobs.
I need you to keep on the dodge and sidle up the loblolly past them hornheads. Just hooting and hollering and score off them rustlers. We'll cut dirt and get the bulge on them.
What? He just wants you to get on that rock and scream.
But who's out there?
They'll come right at you. You hold your ground. Don't move.
Don't move? What if they have claws and big teeth?
Don't overthink it.
So Arlo and Spot walk over to the rock, climb on it, and Arlo tries to scream. The rustlers, who happen to be velociraptors, then show up.
Howdy. What are you up to, boy?
Nothing?
Nothing? Oh, what's your name?
Arlo.
Well, Arlo, you don't look like you're doing nothing. What's he look like he's doing to you, Lurleen?
Oh, come on, Bubba. Ask me. Ask me what I think they're doing.
Hermes, shut your mouth.
Looks like he's trespassing.
And what do we do with trespassers? Tell him, Earl. We kill him.
The velociraptors attack, and the T-Rexes attack back. The Longhorns then start stampeding.
Nobody steals our Longhorns!
Finders keepers!
They manage to get rid of the velociraptors and drive the herd out of there. That night around a fire, Arlo sees he has a scar from when the velociraptors attacked, and Nash and Ramsey tell him that they have scars too.
I run into 15 outlaw stegos. They're all bigger than me and meaner than me.
What happened?
Fought 'em off, of course. Was winning, too. Then one gets his dang spiky tail stuck in my foot and pulls.
Whoa.
Still can't feel my toes.
Which comes in handy when you're kicking piles of bullshit.
She's jealous.
Jealous! Huh. Once, a stampede of longhorns was coming right at me, but my tail was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I was dead for sure. So I chewed the dang thing off!
Who does that? Nobody does that.
That was
You're
a good
crazy. I'm surprised you don't have one right across your face.
Butch then tells Arlo about how he got his scar.
It was 100 degrees in the shade. I walked for 5 days with no water. Then I saw it. A pretty pond. I bent down to take a drink when these crocs launched out of the water. One croc bit me on the face. Ain't no way I wasn't at supper. Except for one thing. I wasn't ready for dying that day. I bit one croc in half, tail whipped the other, and the last one, well, I drowned that croc in my own blood.
Whoa.
Dang! Oh, look. Gives me little goosies every time.
I love that story. Show me souvenir. Ain't that just too good?
Can I touch it this time?
No.
The next morning, Arlo helps the T-Rexes herd the Longhorns, and he soon sees Clawtooth Mountain in the distance.
There it is. Clawtooth Mountain! There's home!
We gotta drive this herd down south.
You hurry on back to your mama and don't stop for nothing.
Thanks! I sure appreciate you looking out for me.
You'll be all right. You're one tough kid.
Arlo and Spot then head for Clawtooth Mountain while the T-Rexes take the Longhorn south. As they get close to the mountain, they see a caveman in the distance. Spot then starts heading towards the man, but Arlo tells him that they have to go home. It then starts raining, and then the pterodactyls show up. They take Spot away. Arlo falls off the cliff, gets tangled in some vines, and is knocked unconscious. Suddenly...
You're alive. I can't believe it. It's you.
Henry starts taking Arlo home, and Arlo tells him that Spot's in trouble.
We have to go back. Papa, stop. Stop. Papa?
Arlo then sees that Henry doesn't have footprints, which means he's not there.
I'm scared. But Spot needs me. I blamed him for what happened to you, but it wasn't his fault. So I gotta go help him. Because I love him.
I knew you had it in you. You're me and more. Now go take care of that critter.
Arlo then wakes up, gets out of the vines, and heads to save Spot. Arlo catches up to the pterodactyls and fights with them.
Well, look who got relevated. Go get it!
Spot manages to bite a hole in Thunderclap's wing and he flies away. Suddenly a flash flood shows up. Arlo goes after Spot. They get swept down the river and are heading for a waterfall. Arlo swallows his fear and swims over to Spot. They then go over the waterfall. Arlo emerges from the river and carries Spot to shore. Arlo and Spot then head for home. Suddenly, some other cave people show up. They take a liking to Spot, who tries to go home with Arlo, but Arlo has Spot stay with them. They share a tearful goodbye and Spot leaves with the others. Arlo then arrives home where Ida, Libby, and Buck are so happy to see him, and because of Arlo's journey home, he's finally earned his mud print mark. And that was The Good Dinosaur. My thoughts? Well, I'd have to say that I really liked it. But unfortunately, it bombed. On a budget of between $175 million and $200 million, the movie made $123.1 million domestically and $209.1 million from the rest of the world for a total of only $332.2 million worldwide, making it Pixar's first ever box office bomb and got pretty good reviews from critics. Now let's move on to the production of the film. In 2009, Bob Peterson came up with an idea of making a dinosaur movie, and he and Peter Sohn started working on it with a planned release date of November 27th, 2013. Bob got the idea when he was visiting the World's Fair in 1964 and was amazed by the animatronic dinosaurs. For the film's title, it was announced as The Good Dinosaur in April 2012. Sohn said the title is simple, but it has a lot of meaning where Arlo has a lot of problems after he's born, like being scared, weak, and disconnected from his family because of those problems, which make him feel unworthy, and then finds a way to become so. Later, Pixar delayed the film from November 27th, 2013 to May 30th, 2014 since Frozen took the original release date. In August 2013, the cast was announced and included Lucas Neff, John Lithgow, Frances McDormand, Neil Patrick Harris, Judy Greer, and Bill Hader. However, halfway through 2013, Bob was having story problems with the third act, and for that he was kicked out of the film and was replaced by Peter Sohn. In June of 2015, most of the cast had been replaced by actors like Lucas Neff, who was the original voice of Arlo, was replaced by Raymond Ochoa. John Lithgow, who was Henry, was replaced by Jeffrey Wright. Arlo's three older siblings, who were voiced by Neil Patrick Harris, Bill Hader, and Judy Greer, were reduced to just two siblings. A brother named Buck, voiced by Marcus Scribner, and a sister named Libby, voiced by Mally Padilla. The only original cast member who stayed was Frances McDormand as Ida. For the setting of the film, the crew wanted nature to be the antagonist for Arlo. So to achieve the realism, the crew went to the American Northwest to spend time in places like Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Janertra, Oregon, and southern Montana to use these landscapes in the movie. The crew also used U.S. Geological Survey data and satellite images found on Google Earth. By the way, this film includes 3D clouds, since clouds were painted in past Pixar films. When animating Arlo, the crew based his movements on those of elephants. They also made a system to allow Arlo's head to go up and his chest to go down when his hips would go up. Since the movie was set in a world where dinosaurs never became extinct, herbivores such as Arlo and his family were turned into farmers, while carnivores such as T-Rexes became ranchers. For the music, Thomas Newman was originally supposed to score the movie, but after Bob was kicked out of the project, Newman was replaced by Michael and Jeff Dana, making this the first Pixar film with two composers. And now it's time for me to give my opinion on the film. In the end, for being Pixar's first ever box office flop, The Good Dinosaur isn't a bad movie or a spectacular movie, it's just good. I give this movie a rating of 4 stars out of 5. Well, that's it for The Good Dinosaur. Be sure to join next week when I'll be reviewing Disney Channel's loose adaptation of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. And if you enjoyed this video, then please tell your friends about me, leave some questions in the comments below, subscribe, and hit that like button.